Welcome back to Passionate About Music Education. I'm Rachel Hardman. Today I'm going to talk to you about how you are a memory creator, how what you do now will be part of your students' memories for the rest of their life. And if you were to ask me, it's one of the most rewarding parts about teaching music is the fact that you are giving students the opportunity through your subject, through your teaching practice, to have positive lifelong memories beyond the classroom. And I was kind of reminded about this the other day when I started teaching an adult student. She used to play the clarinet when she was at school. She was in her school band program, did the tours and the concerts, but she really wanted to come back to the clarinet at 62. She can just, reconnecting with that instrument she started all those years ago. And the joy that she had about her memories from the past, what she did at school, the joy she had playing the clarinet with her school friend and playing duets, those memories have stayed with her long into being an adult, into her retirement. So much so that in retirement she wants to go back and, rekindle that love for music. So that teacher, that original person who inspired her to learn the clarinet, has had an impact on her life for 50 years. And that's what you do. And that's what I love about music education. And it's not about that perfect concert or that perfect solo or getting an A on that exam paper. Of course, all of those are important. But for this lady, what made her happy, what made her beam, come alive, was the fact that she was coming back to something she loved as a child that she could re-love as an adult. So, however you're currently teaching music, and it's probably not in the way that you want to or like to in terms of the situation we're all working in, please don't undervalue what you do as a music educator and how you serve your students, your past students, your current students and your future students. The local music school that I work for have been uploading some videos of performances from their teachers and also from their students. And this week there was a young student, 7 years old, who's doing particularly well at piano, playing a piece of music by the Beach Boys. Was it perfect? No. Was it great example of his progress at this moment in time? Absolutely. And what was so nice to see was the positive comments, the amount of people had watched the video, and the fact that the dad had shared it and how he was just so proud of his son. So again, if you're always waiting for perfection and you're always only showcasing work at that perfection level, parents don't mind. They don't want perfection. They want to see their child doing really well. And this was just such a lovely example and a great reminder why I know there's so much pressure for us to do these amazing concerts, or you see people doing virtual concerts and choir performances and going, I should be doing that. Why am I? And to judge ourselves and to go, well, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. My students aren't ready. And there's so much pressure we put on ourselves. And actually, when you step back, that's not what people are remembering or appreciating. It is the moment, that progress, that memory making for that parent seeing his son performing that video recording. It was just a moment of joy as a parent and that pride that he had for his child. And that was really nice to see. Common questions I get as a music educator when people ask me, what is your job? And I say, oh, I'm a music teacher, is they always tell me about something musical that they did at school. They'll tell me about the choir, they'll tell me about the band, they'll tell me about the tours that they did, the concerts they performed in, the places that they've seen with their friends. And if they didn't play music, you often get the regret. Oh, I wished I'd learnt a musical instrument, or I started but I gave up. And again, our job is to encourage people, but the music making is such a big part of what makes us human. And I just really advocate that constantly, because although we get lost in the system sometimes as music educators and people don't value our subject, they do. Sometimes we just have to remember who values the subject. It is the people in your classroom. It is the parents of the students that you are serving. So how can you in your classroom, particularly if you're a new teacher joining the profession, look at creating those memories for your current students that they would take well beyond being in your classroom? Well, first of all, make sure you share music. Make sure that you video that work in progress and share it with the students. Watch it, praise it, give them the confidence to see what they are achieving well. If it's appropriate, share it with their parents, share it on a platform on your school website. Again, people love, of course, the perfection concert, or the perfection performance, but really the most important thing to a parent and the student is that progress. We are celebrating progress. If we don't celebrate progress, then people get disillusioned and stop performing. So share the music making that you're doing with a wider community. In the classroom, what your students will remember is you being authentic, you being yourself, not being afraid to make mistakes and laugh at yourself. I don't think there's been a choir that I've run where I haven't played the piano, tried to listen to them and read the words at the same time. And I'm not an amazing pianist, and I'm trying to play the piano and sing, and I always sing the words wrong. And then they go, Mrs. Hardman, you've sung the words wrong, and I laugh about it and go, don't follow me with the words, you're the ones that are reading it. And there's a humour in the classroom, and there's I'm not perfect, and they see me as a human, and that we can giggle and I've played a wrong note and stuff like that. So don't be afraid to be authentic, don't be afraid to be yourself, and let that be a part of the relationship you build with your students. They want that. They want you to care. They want you to be human, as opposed to, the perfect instrumental music teacher. And again, that comes out into your rehearsals and your performances. I always smile at my performers, my choir, my band before I play. So I've turned around to the audience and done the whole spiel, welcome to our concert, and this is what we're performing. I turn around and I give them a big encouraging smile. I smile at them, I encourage them at the end, because I want them to feel connected. I want them to feel safe when they perform. Even if something goes wrong, they know I'm going to save them, I'm going to fix it, and they feel confident to perform, because at 15, 16, you're very much aware of what other people think of you, and therefore you need some safety net, and you are their safety net. You protect them. They have faith in you because they've come to the rehearsals, because they trust you that you'll look out for them. So make sure that you give them that encouragement and that backstage relationship you have with them, and the humour you have in rehearsals. And of course, at times you have to be a bit bossy because you want them to get ready for the concert, but it is that relationship. So don't undervalue that, because they remember it. They'll remember the trips, they'll remember the concerts, they'll remember the tours that you do, but they'll also remember the atmosphere backstage and those rehearsal moments, and your care for them as well as your care and love for music. And my last bit of advice for new music teachers is don't get hung up on trying to make these immaculate, huge concerts, particularly if you're building a program from scratch, or you've inherited a program that needs a bit of work and it's going to take 2 or 3 years to fix. The value of a lunchtime concert or a small informal concert is as important as those big formal concerts in your gym or on the concert stage. In fact, many times I've preferred doing the informal tea time concert, where you allow students to perform. So you have your piano students or your woodwind students, or maybe your GCSE students, get that experience of performing in a very informal, safe setting, so they build confidence. They showcase what they're doing. They hear what their friends are doing, their peers are doing, and that's really important. Their parents come in. It's a very relaxed atmosphere. It's a celebration of music making. It's a celebration of their progress. I've done many of those concerts, and I find that in many ways they inspire students to continue learning, and their parents continue paying for those music lessons in a way that's different to those big showcase concerts, which are amazing. But of course, if you're showcasing your choir and your band and your jazz band and maybe your A-level students or your IB students, you don't have a place for that beginner piano player, but they are equally as important. So it's trying to make sure that when you plan your program for the year, that you have these spaces for all your learners, your stars, your top end students, your show choirs, your show bands, orchestras, but also for your beginners, because those beginners, their parents are just happy to see them perform, to see what the progress, to have that goal to work to, and they will continue learning, and those beginner students will become your stars. So for new teachers, don't be afraid to do small concerts, small informal concerts, to build your program, to build your confidence in putting on concerts, but also to make sure that you are showcasing all of your students. Often we get so bogged down in the everyday part of teaching, the admin, the meetings, the planning, the marking, that we forget really what is special about our subject and why we do our subject. So remember, you are a memory maker. You are somebody who is sharing your love with music to others and giving them a chance to shine. And that is the gift that you as a music educator give to others, and I think that's a really valuable gift. And I hope new music teachers coming into the profession that you keep that in the back of your mind on all those dark and bad days when things aren't quite going so well and you're stuck in a meeting and you've got that difficult email to deal with, or planning's not going quite so well. Remember that some of that doesn't really matter. It's the connection you have with your students and the gift that you're giving them of music, and allowing them to develop their own identity, their own confidence, and to create memories, positive memories that they will carry long beyond the classroom. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's inspired you to go out and reconnect with your students. My name is Rachel Hardman, and this is Passionate About Music Education. I look forward to seeing you again on the channel very soon.